Tired.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
I was up last night working.
Okay. What you working on?
YouTube.
Huh?
YouTube.
Okay, you got something? You want something from me short? Want something?
I don't. It, if you want to, it's just like I was working on like growing my account.
Oh, okay, just setting up the account and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
I got like 7.2K.
Do you?
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, make it late, but I'm gonna check your account out. That's right, bro. That's working. Oh, let me put you in the search.
What's going on, y'all? That's me right there.
Okay. So what is it? It's just you up on there, just this right here?
Nah, down. Yeah, that's
Right here.
Yeah. I be doing everything, so right now I'm just live.
Oh, you live now?
Yeah.
Is your music?
Nah, that's my song right there.
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Big KNG, and today we're gonna be watching the horror short film.
Yeah. I just be watching scary
horror short
videos, funny videos.
I'm following y'all. Cat calls.
Hey, look, you got people following you. Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on, the girl who Vince? How you doing?
Hey, man, don't stop, bro. Keep it up.
I'm trying to hit 10K before September.
All right. So you just got to work to keep people going?
Yeah.
I'm subscribing right now. Stop playing.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm on it.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, class, you love. Alright, I gotta get to class.
All right. I'll see you later.
All right.
Keep it up.
How y'all doing? Let me show y'all the quick drill check right quick before I go in the man class. So, this the motion for the day. You know, it sounds like. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you. But yeah, my drill song slight today. The teacher jamming, facts. That's my recording arts teacher. But I got intro to digital media. I got intro to digital media today. His classes be online for me. Hopefully my next semester, they all be like in person, so I can rock out in the class. You in college? Yeah, I'm in college. My class been started. I ain't gonna lie to you. My class started at 1 o'clock. But I'm finna go hit some motion right quick, and then we finna go check out the drip right quick. Then we going to our class. What's up? I don't really like the shirt, but it is what it is. Then I got the shoes. It's college, man, college. Yeah. All right, let's get to my class before they mark me absent. It's alright. It's a little cool. It's a little cool swag. Thank you, Miss Love. Thank you. Why you make that face? Why you make that face?
Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
We're going
How you
on.
doing? All right, I'll be right back down. Grab some tissue paper.
All right, that's
Hey, how you
good.
doing, man? You all
My
right?
teacher just talk a lot. Like, shut the fuck up, nigga. What's going on, buddy?
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Okay, sorry.
You good?
All righty, so hopefully you guys got a chance to take a look at the announcements. But this morning, we're gonna go over that first. Because I got a lot of emails about quiz one, which was due on Sunday. But don't sweat it because I addressed your questions
Appreciate it.
in the announcement section for today, for this week. And it's generally a problematic quiz because I write the quiz, first of all, but there's a lot of fill in the blank and like matching and stuff like that kind of questions.
Right.
And one thing about Blackboard or any like automated grading
Okay.
system, it doesn't really do well with any questions where there are several different ways to give the correct answer. For example, if you said that, I think I may have said this last time, if you said that say the answer to the question was fill in blank, it was, well, what's the number one thing you're supposed to learn in this course? Let's say the example was the principles and elements of design. See, that's the answer. If you said the elements and principles of design in the fill in the blank, it would write it wrong, even though it's the same thing. If you capitalized principles and didn't capitalize elements, it would write it wrong, right? So if you misspelled principles or elements, it would write it wrong. Of course, this isn't a spelling class or anything, or an English class. You like to have good, grammar and whatnot, punctuation, spelling, all that kind of great stuff. But the computer can't tell that you gave the right answer, you just misspelled it. Whatever your answer was, you gave it to them, it just didn't recognize it being exactly as what it was expecting, so it marked it wrong. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do this on Wednesday, is I have to go through every single quiz in both classes, that's about 50 some odd students, and look for things like that, like if they said elements and principles, or instead of principles and elements, and when the computer marked it wrong, I have to go back and give the points back to the student for that. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be doing, but not until after Wednesday. The reason for that is this: for people who actually, there were some people, second problem some people had is they started the quiz, and for a lot of different reasons, Blackboard kicked them out of the quiz, all right? For some people, I know we're having storms this weekend. For some people, their internet, their Wi-Fi may have gone down, and as a result, maybe they didn't be able to take their quiz. When the power came back on and they tried to get back to their quiz, they could not, okay? What happens is that anytime you leave a quiz, whether it's because you press the submit button or you lost power, Blackboard's gonna grade the quiz. And all the questions that are unanswered, Blackboard is gonna grade as incorrect, right? So that's one of the reasons why a lot of people were, kind of like they'll finish the first 5 or 6, and then after that you'll see they didn't do any of the other questions because Blackboard kicked them out of the quiz for one reason or another. So what I'm going to do is only for people who started the quiz before the deadline, and I know there's everybody in this class did it except for 2 people, and I know who they are. They will be able to retake the quiz, but you have until 10 a.m. on this Wednesday. That's 2 days from today, just before the next time I see you, to retake that quiz. All right? Yes.
Is it okay if we take the quiz right now? Or?
Don't take it right now.
Okay.
All right. Do it you know, here's what it is. I'm gonna move into the next section of information, and you don't want to miss this week's material because you're busy doing the quiz for last week. All right. So, so the two people, I don't know if they're even here today, but I don't know everybody's name. Two people who did not attempt to take the quiz before the deadline, they will be blocked from taking the quiz. This is only for people who tried and there was some kind of technical difficulty that stopped them. Now I can tell who's done it because there's a grade for all of them. All right, I can see who attempted to take the quiz before the deadline. So, are there any questions on anything? By Wednesday, middle of class, Wednesday by, I guess, 2 o'clock, all this should be sorted out because I would have gotten a chance to go back and make the corrections on the quizzes that questions marked wrong, as well as everybody who took it the first time, got kicked out of the quiz and couldn't finish, will get a chance to go back and finish. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show it, I'm going to have to, I'm only going to clear it out, though, listen to this part, it's important. This is the one caveat. The big issue is, well, what if somebody took the quiz and completed it, but didn't get the grade they wanted? Can they retake the quiz? No, you can't retake the quiz. I can tell you took the quiz, was kicked out of the quiz in two ways. Either you email me, there's a lot of people emailed me about it, and that's the right thing to do, by the way. As soon as you see there's a problem, email me. Don't wait until, I'll just tell them next time in class. That's not always the best way to do it. If it's something that I probably need to know about sooner than later, go ahead and shoot me an email. Even if I don't respond over the weekend, because we're not liable to respond to anything over during our off times over the weekends, just get your email in there so I know, hey, this person completed the quiz before the deadline. When they try to complete the quiz before the deadline, they had some problems. That's one way I can tell if you actually completed it and you just tried to complete it and got kicked out. And the second way is, like I said before, I'll look at your quizzes and be able to tell that, like you completed the first 5, but the last 30 were marked wrong because there was no answer given. Okay, that's a pretty good sign that you were kicked out before you finished. So just because you took the quiz doesn't mean you'll be able to retake the quiz. It's just the people who took the quiz and were not able to finish. Okay, if you want to confirm with me that you are one of those people, you can do a grade, whatever. But I just want to make that clear. So that way it levels the playing field so that people who took it one time and got through the whole thing, they don't get a second pass at it. That's the whole thing about it, to be fair to everybody. Okay? Any questions on any of that? All right. Okay, let's take a look at today's announcements.
My bad. You a lady, my bad. That's my fault. That's my fault. That's my bad. Sorry.
split screen. There, excellent. All right. So, oh, sir, I'm sorry. I thought about this when I got home. I still have you.
Oh, no, that was sitting here when I got here.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. All right. All right, so let's take a look at the announcements. Of course, you're going to look at the announcements at the beginning of every week and multiple times during the week because it is our kind of like a checklist of things that we're going to complete over the course of the week. Very important that you do that. Okay. I always tell people you don't want to leave anything out. You don't want to inadvertently forget to do something. And the best way to prevent yourself from forgetting anything is to check your announcements. I try to tell people do it like several times a week, but maybe one Monday and Wednesday and Friday. All right. That way, if you miss something, you can catch it. And also, it's sent to you in your email. And finally, I may contact you. I may give you like some additional information on a day other than a Sunday or a Monday. So, like for example, and that's usually like along the situation of there I have some supplementary material that maybe I kind of discovered since I put out the announcements that may kind of help you with your assignment. I'll communicate with you during the week in a case like that. So, just make a habit of occasionally just dropping by the announcement section or your student email address and checking that out to make sure there's nothing new that you are missing. Okay, so here you guys are right here, and we're week 2 of 15. Believe it or not, these weeks are gonna go by really fast, y'all.
Facts.
Hopefully you had a great weekend, and this is what we're gonna accomplish this weekend. Let me get my zoom in feature here. Some students actually like, you'll see how I can zoom in and zoom out, they kind of like that and ask me, how do I do that so they can do it on their computers? And this is what I do. I go to System Preferences by clicking this little gear wheel on the dot, and then I go to Accessibility. And then
That's week 2.
after that, I go to Zoom over this little general bar over here, and then you see right here, I normally have the control key selected as the modifier key to zoom, okay? And is that it? Or we use keyboard shortcut. Okay, Option, Command, okay? All right. All right, so this is kind of what I said to begin with. Over the weekend, I fielded several emails about quiz 1, which was due on the 18th of August. You guys had a variety of problems from being kicked out of Blackboard before you were done with the quiz to Blackboard incorrectly grading questions, saying that they were wrong, you could have sworn that was a correct answer. We have been looking at it in the PowerPoint. Here's how I'm going to handle these problems. Number 1, I'll let everybody who reached out to me by phone or email between Thursday the 15th of August and Sunday, last night, August the 18th, tell me that they were kicked out of Blackboard before they were done with the quiz. I'll allow them to retake the quiz. I have to clear away your previous quiz score and allow you to retake the quiz. by 9 a.m., I can change that to 10 a.m. By 9 a.m. on Wednesday, the 21st of August, that's this Wednesday, your new quiz score will replace your old quiz score. Another way I can figure out if you're one of those folks who needs your score for 30 way to retake is, once again, look at all the individual quizzes to see how many of you had like a whole lot of questions that were just left unanswered because you were kicked out. And this explains what I said to you, how Blackboard uses AI to correct quizzes and doesn't do a good job with fill in the blanks or anything other than multiple choice questions, right? Like I said, I didn't make any of this material in DNPT 1000, but generally when I do quizzes, they're either all multiple choice or they are something called a hotspot, which is like, I'll put a whole bunch of pictures on the screen and I'll say, click on the picture of the cat. And the computer can tell when you click on the cat as opposed to the dog or the seagull where you clicked on the right one. Those are the only two types of questions I generally do, and true false, of course. Those are only three types of questions I generally do. And we don't
I
have
can. It's just it's
to
better typing.
like I said before, if it incorrectly marked one of your questions, then of course I have to go back basically through everyone's and regrade it to see if they actually did the correct answer. Now I'm going to use my own discretion. What that means is that this is the part where students try to haggle or barter for a question that was clearly wrong. Or for some reason they think, well, he's making exceptions. Maybe I can slip under the fence. All right? But there's a difference between you got the question wrong because you misspelled principles as P-A-L-S, P-R-I-N-C-I-P-A-L-S, as opposed to principles like you're supposed to spell it P-L-E-S. That's fine. But if you were to say, well, I didn't put principles and elements of design, but I put ideas and thoughts about design. Isn't that kind of the same thing? No, it's not kind of the same thing, all right? But folks will often try, some folks will often try to slide that by. It doesn't work. Generally speaking, the idea is this. In the fill in the blanks were designed, especially the fill in the blanks, they were designed to be exactly what you see in the PowerPoint. Exactly that same phrasing. So there's generally not, with a couple of exceptions, and I'll tell you a couple of exceptions, saying there's not like 5 or 6 different ways you can say the same thing. There's really only one way, but if you did a capitalization thing or a misspelling thing, we can make corrections for that. One way that may be an exception is there's a question, I know it's in one of the quizzes, I'm not sure, maybe the quiz you just took, where it says students should allow for a blank amount of time to do their work as they spend in their social lives, okay? The answer is twice as much, but that can be viewed in a few different ways, and I think it appears in the PowerPoint in a few different ways, like twice, T-W-I-C-E, so you could have chosen that to fill in the blank. You could have filled in a blank with 2x, 2 times, which means the same thing. You could have filled in a blank with double as much time, which means the same thing. Any of those, would be an acceptable answer, okay? But if somebody were to say enough, they would have filled it in with time or a sufficient amount of time. Yeah, no, that's not the same thing. All right? Okay, so I've used my discretion as far as determining what's acceptable as an alternative, not an alternative answer, but like what would be given credit. If you have an issue, problem with it, just make sure you see me and we'll talk about it, all right? I'll explain my rationale as far as why I didn't or did give you the points for that. We do that like during a break or during a conference hour or something. This week, this is the new material for this week. We are in module 2 for this week, and we have 3 PowerPoint presentations to read. Number 1 is art criticism. Number 2 is the creative impulse, which is a very important PowerPoint you'll refer to a whole lot of times this semester. And number 3 is principles and elements of design. By the way, and I'll show it to you in a minute, originally there was a link that you would click that would show you all the PowerPoint presentations that we have to study for this semester, and it was kind of up to you to make sure you pick the right ones for the module that you're currently in. I simplified that process by making it so that when you go to the reading sections for a module, all you see are the PowerPoints that you're supposed to read for that module. Another thing about that is that it's taking the PowerPoints from my OneDrive, my Microsoft OneDrive. So that means that you can download these PowerPoints and keep a copy. I strongly suggest you do that, because not only will you see the same material in this class you want to review those PowerPoints, but also in every other class you take, you're going to find those PowerPoints incredibly useful. Like I said last time, don't get in the habit of thinking, hey, I'll just memorize this stuff in this class, regurgitate it, and then never have to see it again. That is absolutely not how this works. I'll tell you, I'm teaching a raster imaging class this semester as well. That's a class where we teach students how to use Adobe Photoshop. But it's not just, well, what button, the mechanical aspect, what button do I press to get Photoshop to work? That is not really what the class is mostly about. Yes, sure, we're going to teach you how to use Photoshop, but you got, by the way, all of you guys have to take this course, unless you're a recording arts person. But it teaches you how to teach Photoshop. It teaches you how to use Photoshop in context, in the context of creating art according to the principles and elements of design you learned in 1000, right? So you're not just, here's Photoshop, how it works, this is how you press the buttons and just create whatever you want. No, that's not how it works. They'll say, like, say for example, I know their first assignment is they have to create a pop art, a colored, of course, pop art piece of artwork. So they have like specific color harmonies that they have to stick to, specific combination of colors, like we'll learn about this in this class, the analogous color harmony, or the complementary color harmony, like orange and blue, two colors that are exactly opposite of each other. They have to stick to a particular color harmony, but they also must color the picture in the pop art style of artwork. So the two things you have to know about your color harmonies, and also you have to know what the pop art style entails, what it's all about, how it uses the principles and elements of design in a unique way that says pop art, all right? And on top of that, you got to do it all in Photoshop, all right? So these PowerPoints you're reading is giving you the ABCs, the building blocks of everything you're going to do after this, all right? All right. So those are 3 PowerPoints right there. You also have some videos. There's one YouTube video that you have to watch when we watch this in class today. The video on how to fill out a chart for the principles and elements of design. You're going to do this for every single assignment. And this assignment, this class is not just about you making pretty pictures. That is absolutely not what this is about. All right? This is about you understanding each one of the elements and principles of design: point, line, shape, value, color, and so forth. And being able to, number 1, understand their definitions. Number 2, look at somebody else's work and understand, like, say, for example, the principle of visual movement. Being able to understand, hey, visual movement is at play or is being used in this Picasso print, okay? And describe how it's being used. And then the third thing you're supposed to do, be able to do the highest level of evolution for you in this class, is to be able to use these principles and elements of design in your own work in insightful ways, okay? You get that? That's the whole core of this class, the principles and elements of design. And how we kind of emphasize that is at the end of every assignment in the PowerPoint presentation, because every assignment will require that you embed your work in a PowerPoint presentation. One of the last things you'll have, or some people put it first, and that's fine too, you'll have a principles and elements of design chart that will list all 7 principles and all 7 elements, and you will describe, you're not going to give me a definition of, say for example, let me put this back up. All right. and you're gonna basically tell me, I get more to tell us a little later on. You're gonna tell me how you use each principle and element of design in your specific artwork and why. Okay? So that's what you're gonna have to do in every single assignment, and as far as how students just end up not doing well in the class or just don't get the point in the class, that's 99% of it. They either don't care about the principles and elements of design, which is 99% of the reason you're here, or they don't understand it, okay? And so understanding each one of the principles and elements of design and incorporating it in your own work, that's in an insightful and unique way. That's the whole point of you guys being here, all right? So we'll talk more about that later. So you have another quiz. Oh, another quiz. You got another quiz number 2 that is also due this week. Well, by the way, remind me, what day is everything due? Sunday. Outstanding. Hey man, I could have said it better myself. So Sunday, the 25th of August, 11:59 p.m., that's when the assignment for Module 2 is due, and that is when the quiz for Module 2 is due as well. It'll probably be a similar process as to what we're having to go through now, as far as we having to go through and make corrections on stuff that Blackboard marked wrong, that's not really wrong, stuff like that. Hopefully we won't have as many drop-offs. We won't have as many people who got knocked off. Hold on. We won't have as many people who got knocked off before they finish the quiz next time around. But we have after this week, we have I think 1 or 2 more quizzes and the final exam. And that's all we have as far as quizzes and final exams. Everything else would be assignments. So you're doing your artwork, you're making your PowerPoint presentations, you're doing your principles and elements of design chart. You got a question, sir?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, you never have to ask to do that. Just go ahead and do your thing. All right. Okay, so I mentioned that principles and elements of design chart. One of the things that we have on here, we'll watch this part of it, please, is we have a video of Ms. Voltolan explaining how you fill out the principles and elements of design. Okay, so that's a good way to kind of get started, although we'll be talking about it a lot in here. Also, item number 4, I mentioned the quiz and the assignment. Okay. Okay. And like I said before, your assignments always involve creating a PowerPoint presentation. Somebody said to me last week, I don't know how to use PowerPoint. I never use PowerPoint. Totally fine. We get it all the time. So I drop a link here that kind of explains to you Microsoft PowerPoint for beginners. And you'll see me do PowerPoints a lot. Well, not a lot, but I'll show you from time to time, show examples of certain portions of PowerPoints. Maybe I'll do an example of it today, just so you can kind of get an idea of how PowerPoints work and what we're expecting for you to do in the course. All right. One thing I will tell you is that if you looked at the modules for the assignments, they do have examples of student artwork, but it's generally not in the form of a PowerPoint presentation. It's just a JPEG of some artwork, right? But that's not how you're going to turn it in. That's just how they have to present it on Blackboard. But you're going to turn it in as your artwork as a part of a PowerPoint presentation, all right? So one of the things I also want to tell you as I wrap this part up is to, as James Brown says, please, 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 take the time to read. Take the time to read take the time to read the instructions for the assignments. Don't just look at
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Your clap by ass fuck, bro. I should have just stayed home. Like, bro, ain't no way. Twin talk a lot. That's okay, folks. Twin should be chatting like his life depend on it. I'm talking about chat after chat after chat. He don't stop, gang. What's going on? Twin don't stop. You be fucking up my head. Damn, man. This is principal. Damn. Principal in there, bitch. The principal is literally in this bitch. Hold on, let me talk this in. Is it Smith about me? Huh? I'm gonna be real, my boy. I don't know what you mean by that. They got these rich niggas like that. Bro, I'm leaving at 2 o'clock. Is it something about me? What you mean? Like what you mean? Is there something about you? Like, do I know something about you? Actually, that's what I want to do. I want to do a Q&A. I want to do a Q&A, industrial classroom. I want to do a Q&A. Nah. I ain't mad at nobody. I ain't mad at nobody. Why my dread keeps sticking to my face? This art. I fucking hate this class. Class is so weak.
Of the principles and elements that you're going to use in your work and save you a lot of time because you won't have to struggle with what you should do. This is going to be your planning document that will tell you what you should do. Okay, so the first thing you need to do, and I went ahead and did this prior to starting the video, is wrote the format of what I'm going to be looking at. And the format in this sense
All the
is going to
22
be
people who are watching you better type it in chat.
what style am I using? Okay, I'm going to use one that is not common. It's called Gothic abstraction. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to type in Gothic art and look at some Gothic abstraction art and use that to determine what's in each one of these boxes. Okay, what points do they use? What lines, shapes, forms, space, value, color, balance, contrast, emphasis, movement, pattern, rhythm, and unity is used in this art style so that I can complete this chart. So when I do my work, I know how to apply or what elements to select and how to apply them with plans. Okay, so first let's go to Google over here. Then I've already typed in Gothic art and I'm going to click abstract so that I get Gothic abstraction. Or you can just type it in, Gothic.
Oh, for sure. Appreciate it.
And it's going to give me artwork. Okay. all kinds. Some of it's going to be professional, some of it's going to be amateur. Some of it's going to be photography, some of it's going to be painting, some of it's going to be logos over here. What else have we got? There may be some sculpture, all kinds of stuff, okay? So, when I look at this, what do I see? And you can see some points or dots that are in the artwork. In fact, this one looks quite. There's a lot of dots. You can see the dots in here. And if I were to describe the dots, the points that are used in Gothic abstraction, how would I describe them? Okay? So when I look at these, here's some more really big ones.
Panda Elliot, appreciate the subscription, man. Much love from the Kanji channel to you, bro.
So if I come in here to my chart, there are more oval-shaped dots. They are, if I look at this work over here, see, let's maybe have to get closer. Okay. Oh, it's taking a long to load up. Must be a big file. All right, I'm just going to go back to this. And I can see that these are done very rough. They're not perfect, right? So they tend to be shaped rather than, oops, perfectly round dots. Let's see what else. So there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of them. This one's kind of interesting. It's a whole painting made out of dots. So they have a lot of texture. Okay? So rough shape, rather than putting down round and perfectly round dots, have a lot of texture. Enter. And you may need to, let's see, where's the wrap the text on this to get the figure box.
This particular program is called
And that's it, right?
Microsoft
I
Excel.
now know that if I am
Excel.
going to go in and create artwork in this style, that I'm going to use ovals, rough shape rather than perfectly round dots, and I'm going to have a lot of texture on those dots. Okay? Hey, it really narrows down what I'm doing. I don't have to guess. I don't have to try multiple things. And I won't throw something in there that doesn't belong. Right?
One thing I do want to say is, in order to answer that, she had to have a, in this particular case, a painting or a piece of art to look at, right? To examine how they use dots or points, right? Okay? How, I believe the first several assignments work out like this, where you have to fill this out for a piece of art you haven't created yet. So you have to determine, well, how am I going to use the element of point in this piece of artwork? You have to figure that out ahead of time and then fill it out. You can say, well, that doesn't, that seems like going to be a little hard because, I just want to make the art and then just go back and describe what I did, which is one way to look at it, but this way, it's really good that Ms. Motola came up with because it makes you do what? If you have, let's go back, say it.
Examine work.
Say it now.
Examine work.
Well, no, say you have to do it before, you say you're doing it for one of your pieces one of your art pieces, like in an assignment, but you have to do this, fill out this sheet. before you actually create the artwork. What's in it? What? Yes.
So you saying I'm looking at another art to fill out that, and then I
No. This is, well, that's what she did. She looked at another piece of artwork and filled it out.
yeah.
But what you guys are gonna do is fill this out without looking at anything. You're gonna fill this out with the artwork you're going to create in mind. Almost like if you write down a recipe for a chocolate cake and you're writing down the recipe, but you haven't made the cake yet. Does that make sense?
So what you're saying is we're thinking of what we're going to do in our heads, right?
Right. And what is thinking of what you're gonna do in your heads before you actually make it, what's another word for that?
Imagination.
Wow.
Planning.
Planning, yes, planning. And that's key. You're using your imagination, sure, to plan. All right? And that's one of the reasons why, 'cause I was also on the team, we call this the P&E chart, by the way. Sometimes instead of saying all the words, principles and elements of design chart. I was on the team where, hey, well, why not just have them create the artwork and then describe how they use the element of point, how they use the element of line. And when I actually didn't ask her out, I just thought about it. But wait a second, if they have to fill this out first, that means that they have to plan what they're going to do ahead of time, which is incredibly important, especially if you're in commercial art. All right? A client doesn't come up to you and tell you, hey, I need a movie poster for my new movie, and I'm not going to give you any stipulations or constraints or any instructions. I just want you to just make it up as you go along, and then we'll take a look at it after the fact and determine how we need to correct this so it's right. Is that a very efficient way of working? It's almost like, I want you to make me a sandwich. What kind of sandwich? I'm not going to tell you. Make me a sandwich, and when I bite into it, I'll tell you if it's right or not.
That's
What
crazy.
was it out?
That's crazy.
That's crazy, because more than likely, what are you going to have to end up doing? Doing it again, right? Because the fact that you were given no stipulations or there was no plan to begin with, and whatever, there's a 99% chance, unless you're a mind reader, that whatever you're going to give them, it can be very good, but it's not what they ordered. All right? So the idea is, how do you do the P&E chart ahead of time makes it so that you're planning out what you're going to do before you actually do it. Now, the little caveat or the little modification I put in there is, sure, you may think you're going to use oval-shaped dots and whatnot, and you fill this whole thing out, and you create, and you change your mind for, like, a good artistic reason. Fine, that's okay. After you fill this out, after you finish the artwork, just go back to your P&E chart and do what? Make corrections, modify it so it reflects the art that you ended up coming out with. All right? Now, realistically, I know what you're thinking. Well, how do you know if I fill this out? If I'm not looking over your shoulder while you're creating the art and filling out this sheet, how do I know if you did it before or after you did the artwork? I don't. But the idea is, if you do it beforehand, it'll just get you in the habit of being a lot more orderly and organized and having a plan before you actually go out and try to do anything, create artwork or anything. And that'll just make life a whole lot easier for you. Okay, I can't tell you how often, I'm a filmmaker, so I can't tell you how often students will say, hey, I'm gonna shoot commercial, I don't need to write anything down, no shot list, no storyboards, nothing. I'm just gonna show up on the set with a camera, and we're just gonna go ahead and just make it up as we go along and just kind of figure it out. It should all just fall together when we get there. How often would you say that works out?
Never.
Yes, never. 0% of the time. Okay, the old saying is, you guys have probably heard this, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. All right? So that's what this is about, planning out your work ahead of time. Once again, I don't know when you did it, so I can't tell that you did it before or after you created your artwork, but just, know that this is something, if you do it before you do your artwork, it's good to make just your life a whole lot easier, okay? Notice that, this is the thing, before you can fill this out, don't you have to know the definition of the individual principle or element of design,
Yes.
right? But did she give me the definition of what a point is? Did she say a point is technically, well, we'll just say how you're probably conceiving it. A point is a very small, round shaped object in the artwork. Is that what she filled this out with?
No.
No, she didn't give me a generic definition of point. She told me how the element of point was used in that specific piece of artwork. That's what we're looking for there, okay? Now, I say this every semester, and I always have a good portion of the group that doesn't understand, not listen, whatever. I will have a number of people who will still give me a point is a very small round object. I didn't ask what the definition of a point. How are you using a point in your work? Yes.
How many people have asked you that? How many people have said that in your class?
70%. Easily 70%. Now you know why. Hopefully we all get out of here. But now you know why I can start off with a class of 25, 26 people and only 3 get out. All right? That's becoming more and more common. You know what I mean? Or they're like, okay, they treat this as a checklist of everything that should be in the piece of art, and under point, they won't tell me how they use point in the artwork. They'll just say, yeah, it's in there. They'll put it in there. Just like I said, it's in there. You know what I mean? You know? Well, number one, how do I know that you know what a point is? Because you haven't told me where it is in your artwork and what it looks like. I could say, yeah, I've got contrast in this. But I guess I'll just have to take your word that you know what contrast is in the first place, right? Because you didn't tell me, hey, on the left side of the frame, it's stark white. On the right side of the frame, it's stark black. That constitutes contrast in tone, and this is the really most important part. I did that. I used white on the left, black on the right, because I wanted to, I'm making this up, emphasize a theme of day and night are equal, but dramatically different from each other. So you can see I not only told you how I use that principle or element of design in my artwork, but I told you artistically why did I make that choice. It wasn't just an arbitrary choice. When you play chess or checkers or whatever you guys play, you don't just start moving pieces around on the board for no reason, right?
I do.
You're probably not that good at that sport, are you? Exactly. All right? So, same thing here. When you make decisions, that's all really, almost anything in life is about. It's about informed decisions. How good are your decisions? Whether you're a running back and I choose to cut to the right and go through the hole, or sweep around the end. All that is a decision. These are arbitrary decisions that he just flipped a coin in his head and just did. He's using all of his training, all of his knowledge of the principles and elements of playing football, right? To make the most, the best choice he can make at that particular point to achieve his goal, which is to get a first down, get a touchdown, whatever he or she is trying to do. All right? So please don't cop out on the P&E charts, because by far, that as far as grading, that is where I spend most of my time. Okay? And believe you me, if you think doing the assignments and filling out the chart every time is tedious and hard, try being the teacher where I have to read all of them and not just give it a check mark or a minus or a happy face or a smiley face. I'm going to give you insight to tell you, for example, if you write something that misses the mark, that's not correct, I'll tell you, not only Okay, it's right, or sometimes I do for if you do something right too. I'll just tell you stuff that's wrong. I'll tell you if it's right or wrong, why it's right or wrong based on the theory and all the knowledge we've learned in class, and finally, what you can do to fix it. Okay, that doesn't mean I'm going to regret it. That just means in future assignments, bear this in mind, you won't make this mistake a second time. Okay, so I got to do that for every one of the 50-odd students I have every week. that gets very tiring. That's why teaching 1,000 is such a laborsome task, and but it's also incredibly important, because if you guys don't get the foundations right now, you'll never get a chance to come back to it. You won't have enough time to come back to it when you're off and running, doing 3D animation and cinematography and all that kind of good stuff. Any questions on anything? All right.
I got a question.
Yes.
Do all of them have to have like a dramatic like explanation on why you use that certain thing?
Oh, it doesn't be dramatic, but it definitely has to be based on. If I look at the what you fill out and it's clear you don't know the definition of that element, or you don't tell me how you actually used it, those are the only two real gotchas. Doesn't have to be really elaborate. Matter of fact, you don't have a whole lot of space, so you can't get too elaborate.
Okay.
But you'll find being succinct a lot of times is much harder than using a lot of words to describe things. I'd say the same thing I can say in a paragraph, but in 3 words. That can be incredibly difficult.
So like for color, you just say like the main colors in this image is blue, yellow, and red.
Okay? Main colors in this image are blue, yellow, and red. Now, unless the teacher or the person looking at this is Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder, that will be important information. I mean, if it is Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder, that'd be important information. Why is that? Because they're what? Because they're blind. I can see that you use red, yellow, green, whatever you use, but I need you to tell me where in the image you used it, and most importantly, why. Was this just that I thought it was a pretty color? That's never a good reason to do anything.
A mood.
What's it out?
A mood. Like a certain color sets a certain mood.
Yeah, but when you say a certain mood, I want to go deeper. What mood?
Like, say if you pick blue, it express sadness.
Yes, great. I painted the lady's dress blue because of the fact that the theme of this is tragedy and sadness, and the color blue has the meaning, can have the meaning, connotative meaning of sadness. Perfect. All right.
And that will go into what?
That will go under color.
The color.
Yeah, that will go under color.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
But if you were to say color, it's in there. If you were to say the dress is blue, I'm saying I can see that. I need you to tell me where you used it and why that, to make sure that's not just an arbitrary choice. Because if it was an arbitrary choice, you didn't really think about it, you had no strategy, you were nothing you were trying to communicate by the way you use the color blue, then I could have had a 3rd grader or kindergarten do this, right? Because that's what, not all the time, but that's what they're doing. That's why you have so many purple cows and green suns. Because they're making arbitrary decisions. Arbitrary means what?
Nonsense.
So what now?
Doesn't make sense.
Well, kind of.
No reason behind it.
Kind of like random.
Yeah.
Arbitrary is like random.
Yep.
You know, I don't really have, don't have a reason behind it. Yes.
Okay, so say if they got, like you said, say oval shaped dots, and what if they missing, what if they got it up there, but it's more in the picture, they just not putting everything, they forgot to put everything up there. Is the whole thing wrong?
Do we have to
Like
put
you just saying oval shaped dots,
Yeah.
and it have lots of texture, would that be still okay?
No,
Or you
no.
want to break every single thing down?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna bring everything you put there, but there could be more
Okay.
that you're not saying there. But as long as what you're saying there is substantial and you're making a good point, there are lots of different ways you can describe how you use point. You could talk about their size, talk about the texture, you can talk about the balance or the alignment. There are lots of different ways. I'm not expecting you to talk about every single way. I just want you to make at least one good, solid, insightful statement about it. Okay? Does that make sense? Like I said, you don't have a whole lot of space here, so you can't like write a whole paragraph. Like I said, the toughest part of anything is doing something, you know, expressing a complex or a complicated idea in just a few words, as opposed to a whole paragraph. That can be incredibly difficult. So, of course, like I said before, in order to begin to do this, you need to know the definitions of these, but know that giving me the definition in a blank, that is not what I'm asking for. Also, sometimes people will say, well, there's no contrast in this picture. 99.9999% of the time, 100% of these is going to be in every piece of art, with the exception of sometimes color, if it's like a pencil sketch or we're just using tones, like white and shades of gray. That's the only reason as to why one could be blank. Or you could say it's not, never leave anything blank, by the way. If it was a black and white photo with color, you could say this is a grayscale image that has no color, right? You'll rarely say something like that, but when a person leaves one of the blanks empty, guess what that tells me? What would that tell you? If they say movement, there is no movement here, and it's clear that there's movement in the image.
But what if
Like
there
they
isn't?
posting or something?
Was it out?
Like it's really posting?
Like if they put there's no movement, but there really isn't movement in the image. What there always is. What would you think if you were grading that assignment about this student?
Dang, he don't know.
Is it out?
He don't know.
He does not know the definition of movement. And rather than go back, what's the place you go back and look up what the definition of movement is, so you can look at the picture and see if there's movement there and then describe it. Rather than do that, they would just say, it's not there.
What if it isn't there?
Like I said, 99.999% of the time, all of these will be here. All of them, with the possible exception of color.
You said movement would be in there all the time?
Movement, yes, but you gotta know what movement is.
Yeah, that's probably.
What is movement? Is movement this? Popping and locking like at the Olympics? Is that movement?
Yeah.
Is that movement?
Yeah, a little bit.
Not the kind of movement we're talking about. The kind of movement we're talking about has to do with where does your eye start in the image. Like, I can draw your eye to look at this big orange circle first. That's the first thing you're going to see, right? And then after that, it's going to go up and to the right and in on this tiny orange dot. Movement is the direction that your eye takes as you look at the image. How you determine it, how the artist determines the direction, it has to do with visual weight. Anything that's bigger is going to attract the eye first. Anything that's smaller is going to attract the eye second. So you can easily say, because this is big, your eye's going to be attracted to the big orange ball first, and then it's going to move up and to the right with a line, and it's going to end on the small red dot. That's where it's going to end. So as I described what you see first, what you see second, and what you see third, that is movement. Okay? I've had people say I drew a picture, say this image is over some waves, and that's water. Well, waves move up and down, and when it's in real life, this is still image we're talking about here, not video. So the movement in the picture is the movement of waves. Or it's a picture of a man walking across the street. Well, he's trying to walk across the street, so if it was real life, he'd be moving from left to right. Is that the kind of movement we're talking about? No! Students, I'm telling once again, there's going to be a fair number of people who do that. In these specific categories that I'm pointing out here, I'm not going to call anybody out by name, but I'm famous for putting the work up on the screen for everybody to see in its glory, and we laugh and we laugh and we laugh. Don't be that person. All right. Okay. See, just by saying that, I know you guys are going to be a lot more on your P's and Q's and try to get it right, correct? I want to show you another one here. And what's funnier is the person, I tell them, if it's you, don't identify yourself. A lot of times what I'll do is I get up sometimes from my entire class, so I don't have to worry about that, right? So it's nobody that's in here. But if it's somebody in the class, they'll say, well, I didn't know what I was doing when I did that. I said, dude, I told you not to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So another one they get wrong sometimes is points. And this one's hilarious. Because we all know that point. You can kind of think of it as a dot. Technically, a point has no, a point is, and Mr. A is a math teacher, right? So you know when I use the word, a point is dimensionless. That means it has no height, no width, and no depth. It's basically a singularity. Somewhere in space, when I put a point here, your eye is going to be drawn here as opposed to all this empty space on the screen. You can kind of conceptualize point as that. So, or if you want to think of it as a small circle, that's fine too, although technically circle is a shape, all right? Now, can you give me a definition of point that's wrong? Somebody, anybody? Yes.
I'm pointing at something.
Yes, they'll say, the guy on the left is pointing at the dog on the right. Or they'll say, the point of this image with the lady with the blue dress on is to show you how sad she is. Are we talking about that kind of point? All right, but I'm telling you, if I was a betting man, I'd put cash down right here. I said, somebody is going to do that. Right? Nobody's going to do that, Mr. Thomas, especially as you explained it to us, because you explained it to us. Yeah, in the perfect world. So I say this so hopefully we can avoid some of the common pitfalls so we're all on the same page. So like I said before, if you ever get to a point where, hey, balance, what am I talking about there? Go back to the definition, we'll see what those are actually today in the PowerPoint presentation, and review, okay, what's the definition of the principle called balance? Okay, I understand the definition. I've seen the examples they've shown me in the book. Now, how can I describe how I use balance in my own artwork? Bam, that's your putting up field. That make sense? Outstanding. Let's take a break, y'all. It is 2:06. Y'all working me hard. 2:06. Let's come back at 2:25. Yes, ma'am, you had a question?
I want to know, like, unity. What do you mean, unity? What do you mean by that?
Unity is people sticking together. No. Unity is, somebody gonna say that. I've had that too. Unity has to do with how all the elements don't seem like a whole bunch of random shapes. You take it as a whole, as a congruous whole, okay? Think of it like this. When you look at a map of this is a kind of an abstract example. When you look at a map of the United States, the lower 48 map of the United States, you can either look at them as individual states, or you can step back and look at that whole mass as one country that's made up of individual states. We can take it as a whole as opposed to the individual parts, okay? Whatever technique you use to make us see the whole instead of the individual parts, that is how you establish unity in your artwork. Make sense? We'll get to that one later on. That's like way down, that's one of the last ones we do for, well, we'll talk about it before the very end of the semester, but it's one of the more abstract ones that we have, okay? So yeah, I'll see you guys at 25 after, and we'll pick it up from there. If you have any questions or anything, you can come on up and see me. I'm gonna get started looking at the people who couldn't finish the quiz because they got knocked off. I'm gonna clear out your quiz score so you can do it again by 10 a.m. Wednesday. Please don't forget to redo it, okay?
All right, Chad. So we finna go grab something to eat, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. But We finna go grab something to eat. Cause it's a lot of learning from my little brain, man. It's a lot of learning from my little brain. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Do you have? Nah, I ain't got that. I ain't got that. Hey, where you get them snacks from?
I got it from my house.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm just asking.
I think it's like a vending machine around or something. I'm not sure really.
Nah. I ain't even looking for no vending machine. I want some real food. Where y'all think I should go? Should I go to Wingstop, Burger King, McDonald's? I can't go nowhere too crazy because I gotta get back to school. So just type in the chat, type in McDonald's for real. Come on, nah. Bro, I don't want no McDonald's, man. Y'all, I just beat Extreme and Granity. Okay. Long ass hallway. I swear. I don't think they got a Chipotle around here. They got a Chipotle around here?
Thank you.
No problem. KFC be my first option.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Alright. Look. KFC. Hey, KFC do sound good. KFC do sound good. Next time I need to park somewhere closer because the internet be trash. I ain't gonna lie to you. Internet be bad. Chicken Express. Oh, let me hit this right quick. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Burger King. What going on, SZA? You can vape that. To be honest, I don't even know. They don't be saying nothing to me. They don't be saying nothing to me. I guess they just follow the page. I was gonna say, hey man, who this is whipping up in my station like this? I'm good. How about you? I'm good. How about you? Cool. Follow the page. And what's your major in college? I'm a recording arts. You know, I deal with music. You know, yeah, I deal with music. So I learned DJing. I learned how to audio engineer, mix and master, all that stuff I do. Actually, it's kind of hot out here. It's kind of hot out here. Yeah, it's fine. Now it's time to get to my car. I hope I got my wallet on me. Hold up. Yeah, I got it on me. Ugh. Bro, that's why I hate wearing these shoes, bro. They come untied every time. What car you got? Yo. I got a Toyota. What you gonna eat for lunch? I don't know. Think about some KFC. I got a little Toyota for my car, man. And now you're learning about the design if you put it in perspective. I subscribe. Dr. Isaac, appreciate the subscription, man. Doing a lot of stuff in class, but whole time I'm still learning. So, you know, don't really your laces. Double bottom. Is it me? Look, this is my little car right here. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. So like you can't fault me. You can't fault me. All right, let's see what we about to go eat at. This. Oh my! I feel like my internet about to be real bad. Go right down this way. Oh. Hey. Yeah, I know I'm Ethiopian restaurant. That do sound good. Hold up. Yeah, I'm looking for a food spot right now. Oh, they got Popeyes right here. That shit dead. Oh, they got a pancake house? I ain't gonna even try. Finna get me a. Finna go grab me some food right quick. Oh. What type? What that is? That say King Seafood? Oh, say no more. Say no more. Shit, they got seafood in it, bitch. I don't even eat seafood for real. Shit, do I want some Popeyes or do I want some seafood? Fuck it. What else they got down here? They ain't got no Zaxby's, no. What this is right here? Oh, they got a I'm finna pull up. I'm finna pull up. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm finna check out it. But do I want some Popeyes though? Do I want some Popeyes? Or do I want to try this African Intel Market Caribbean ride? Fuck it. We finna try that bit. Appreciate it. Finna try that bit. Market. Facts. Finna go grab me some food right quick. Hopefully they sell like. Alright, that's a bet. Wait, man. In class, I ain't gonna cap it down like that. Finna eat a luxurious food in the teacher's head. My bad. I'm in a laggy area right now. I'm really trying to. Oh, what the fuck they got going on? Man, these bitches ain't open yet. Shut up. Should I have a quick outfit? No, I ain't going. Wanna grab some? Where my vape at? Yo! What the hell I just did with my vape? Did I put that bit in the? I think I put that bit in the car. Hold up. Let me go check right quick. I'm gonna play Roblox when I get home. Like it's gonna be like around 4 o'clock. Around 4 o'clock. Finna mukbang in class, gang. Finna mukbang in class. Ain't gonna lie to you. Finna break me down some food in class. That's crazy how everybody just left. Cause I had trash ass internet during the what's it called? Here you go. You know, I gotta blend in like an outsider, man. I mean, I gotta blend in like an insider, man. I don't want these people to think that I got money out here, man. So let's see real quick. I'm like, oh, bro, I follow your YouTube. No, you don't, man. Get out of here. So what does "you're not cut like that" mean? I just watched a clip with Angel Reese, and she said that. Basically, what that mean is you not like that for real. Like somebody walk up to you and be like, "Bro, I don't even know why you capping, but you're not like that." They basically saying you're not about what you live. Let me see that. Dang. Y'all have a menu? For a whole hour. Appreciate it. Oh, that's it too? Can I get some fried tilapia? Can I get 2 piece? And then can I get some yeah, can I get some fries? I'm gonna grab one of these drinks. I want one of these. Shit, how you open it, bitch? Oh, push this bit down. So,
$11.45. You want to obey, right?
yeah, I want it fried.
Yeah, fry and obey. You want to put obey on?
Huh?
Okay, 2 tilapia.
Uh-huh.
Fry.
Right.
And what?
Yeah.
And 1 garlic.
Yeah.
That's it. 11.45.
All right, bet. Tilapia, good choice. Can't go wrong with fish and chips. Man, I ain't eating no chips, man. I'm eating fries. Appreciate it. Yeah.
And you want garlic, obey, or spicy? Let me know.
Oh, no, I don't want it spicy. But yeah, I'm on live stream right now.
And your number is
Number 4?
what they call number 4.
All right, that's a bit. Appreciate it.
Number 1, number 4.
Number 4? Say no more. Fries or chips in England? Man, you said in England. Man, we ain't doing. Man, this is United States of America, gang. Oh, Can y'all see me? Hold up. Hold up. Oh shit. Trying to set y'all up the way y'all can see me. Fries or chips in England? That's it. Ooh. Yes, sir. I know that's how I learned it. Oh, all right. That's a bet. That's a bet. So look, when I get back in class, man, I'm finna be mukbanging it out, man. They finna be like, dang, where you get all that food from? You gonna get that, Nick? Swimming in the ocean, what do you call it? Swimming in the ocean, what do you call it? What's your favorite memory of school so far? My boys. I was out with my boys and we was at club. I was out with my boys and we was chilling at the club. Man. At left, right. Oh, that's a teacher. My bad. I meant I was at the study hall. You know, studying with my boys. That's one of my biggest memories, man. You already know it. I'm rolling. It ain't even my fault. Me personally, it's cool. Appreciate it. I forgot you was a teacher. My bad. You ain't need to know all that. My bad. The whole time, man, waiting on this food. I'm in Oklahoma now. Wait. So what class you teach? Welcome back, Hannah. Dr. Isaacs. I'm a retired English professor. That's a bet. That's a bet. You a man teacher or a lady teacher? You're a man teacher or a lady teacher? Cause I done had two English professors. They both was ladies. They both was ladies. It'll break his whole head off. Dang. What a food at? Yes, I'm a lady. XX chromosomes. Well, I need some help with my English. I need some help with my English. Cause my English ain't even all that. So Flex, my guy. Flex, my guy friend wants to see. Right here, right now, it's crazy. Hold on, let me see something. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna give y'all. That's all I'm gonna give y'all. Dr. Isaac, I need some help with my English, my pronunciations. You know what I mean? Once I get that done, okay, I'm down. If you keep screaming this media class. All right, that's a bit. That's a bit. I got you. I'm gonna keep on screaming. Live streaming this little class. Oh, this me? Man, I'm finna double down on food. So I'm finna get this right here. I'm finna go you know what I mean? Oops, I was. You was zooming again. Your punctuation is just fine. You know it regular. I guess irregular. You can say irregular. And I hope they don't give me no live fish. You dead, man. You know live fish. I want my shit fried. What going on, Tarisha? But I'll help you with the English. That's the best. Appreciate it. Look at that. Especially to write fast. I don't even know how to write for real. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a long little lake, man. You want some fried fish? Yes, I can flex like that on papers. You can flex like that on papers? That's a bit. I ain't gonna even lie. What the police doing out here? Police out here wilding. Yo, the police just pulled up. Look. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Yes, sir. And I can tell you're hungry waiting on the food. Facts. What going on, brother? But yeah. Nah, it's just a regular police. How much do you have to wait? Oh, we ready? Say no more, gang. Yo. Oh yeah, y'all got some ranch? I got some ranch. Ranch?
Right.
Yeah.
We don't have ranch, but we have tartar sauce.
Oh, never mind. I'm good.
I have a bottle of coffee if you want.
Oh yeah. I made that quick. Go crazy. Gonna go crazy.
Try again. Good.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So we done got the food. We finna go grab some. Who the police, bro? The police jet out here, bro. Police jet out here, man. We finna grab some food. And then we got our food right now, yeah. We finna go grab some Popeyes. Finna go grab some Popeye. We finna eat a full dinner in school, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. We finna mukbang it out in school. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. Fuck, man, looking at, bro. Look at all up in my face. Yo, we finna go stupid in school. Police question mark, I leave. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what, gang? Oh. Yeah, and Conyers, they be doing it way cheaper for that.
Yeah, I know. That shit way too high.
Facts. Dang, boy. Popeyes, love me some Popeyes. Man, I'm finna go grab me. I'm finna go fill up, man. Finna go fill up. Oh, hold up, let me hit my shoe right quick. Dr. Isaac, I just want you to know. You're gonna be my favorite teacher. I ain't gonna lie to you. You're gonna, ooh, that fish smell good. You're gonna be my favorite teacher. Teach me some English. You know, we be, hey, how the hell? Yeah, I need to learn some English. I really miss my students. Well, bro, the police that nigga still just sitting there. Like, bro, let me just post it up outside. I hope Twin don't get on my back. Like, bro, grab you something to eat and get on somewhere. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I miss you too. Teach. I miss you too. So we got some fish. We got some fish and we finna get some Popeyes. Oh yeah. Then after this, I'm going to the crib. Oh, they got an AI speaking? They got AI speaking.
Welcome to Popeyes. What can I get for you?
Can I get a number 5?
3 or 5 piece tenders?
3.
Classic, spicy, or blackened tenders?
Can I get a classic?
What's the side, drink, and dipping sauce?
Ranch is the side, and then lemonade is the drink.
Which side?
Fries.
What's your next order?
That's it.
Is the order on the screen correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. We'll see you at the window.
Hey, bro. The AI talking to me is crazy. Like, how they understand what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. Dipping sauce. Facts, I got ranch. What about the rest of the class? I ain't gonna lie to you.
Ain't no rest of the class. I ain't gonna lie, ain't no rest of the class. It just been you learning, you know, learning about punctuations, commas, where to put the commas, you know, where to put the exclamation points. Way hot. I love Chick-fil-A. I wish they would have had a Chick-fil-A over here. I ain't seen no Chick-fil-A. You got me. That's a bet. That's a bet. That's a bet. Yup. Then I think I came in from that way, so I just made that turn, keep straight. My school right there. They feel like, dang, bro. Let me see how many fish things they did. Okay. They blessed me up. Twin gave me what I asked for. I thought he was finna finesse me. I ain't gonna lie to you. This, give me that. Can you stay in live stream for 1 hour? Of course, I got you. My class is about an hour long, so you know I'm gonna be in favor of God. You know, I can't. I'm gonna be on live for another 2 hours, I think, or an hour and a half. Doctor. Hey, man, it's hot. The sun out here beaming, ain't it? What's up? I parked mad far from this window. Yeah, that's it. You have that class Monday, Wednesday, Friday. At which time does it start? Nah, I had that class. I got that class Monday and Wednesday from 1 to 4. I appreciate it. From 1 to 4. So hopefully, you feel me? I passed that class. Oh, I'm going like that way. Thank you. So why are you going home? Oh no, I'm not going home. I'm finna go right back to class. I'm just grabbing me some food. So I can do a mukbang inside my class. I'm finna be eating good. I ain't gonna lie to you. Finna be sitting in class, snacking down. It's 100 over here. Let me see. It's 91. It's 91 this way. Huh? I had a ranch. Yeah. It's 91 over here. We do the same. Yo, I'm finna smack down. Bro. I ain't gonna lie. I can't even lie to you, bro. What is the police doing, bro? Fix your. I'm finna honk. At 20. Bro, move your wig. Like, bro, do something with your life. 12 playing over here. Do something with your life, twin. Do something, bro. Get a new career, gang. You wow. Over here getting in my way. But it's all love. I hope cuz don't get behind me. I'm finna speed out of here. Shining like a melody in my head, I can't. Hold up. Did I turn the right way? Yeah, I turned the right way. Is this my class right here? Nah, this ain't my class. Nah, this ain't my class. Yo, did I come from another way? Yeah, I came from another way. We'll do something with your life, he said. Man, I'm telling you, bro, cause he all in my way. Like, bro, move, bro. Let me get to my class, bro. Let me get to my class, bro. He interrupted my learning. Like, how that work? How that work? Yo, which way my school is? Ah, my school over that way. It's alright. I'm finna. Give me one. Give me one. What you talking about, nigga? What you talking about, nigga? What you talking about, nigga? Give me that. Yup. Give me one more. Yup. Then we gonna swerve in this lane right here. Yup. What you talking about, man? What you talking about, bro? You gotta. I don't know what type of car bro got, but I'm dusting, bro, out the water. What do you mean? What do you mean? What you need, gang? I don't know. Look, bro. Twin on the scooter, he better move. You better move, bro. Driving all in the street. Twin better watch out, now. I'll be back. All right, that's a bet. I'll be back. Got to handle my 16-year-old son. Oh, you got a son? Alright. Well, I guess you can say I'm his new dad. Then I guess you can say that. Trying to have me a kid anyway. I'm finna mukbang class. Finna destroy this food. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I've been live streaming for a good little minute. You going back to school? Yep. I bet y'all can already feel it. Cause the Wi-Fi so bad. I can't. Bro, I hope they don't say I can't eat my food in here, man. Like, bro, too hot to sit outside. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Too hot to sit outside. All right, let me. Pulled it right there. They gave me one wrench, bro. One wrench. Who does that? Hold on. Let me check these chicken tenders up. Are you fried? Oh yeah. These fried back, right? Yep. Send about right with me. Yep, send about right. Send about right. I ain't gonna lie to you. Fries alright. Alright, let me take this in the class. Are you a gorilla? Eating a banana? Dang. Must be nice, Must be nice, gang. Must be nice. That lemonade, something smooth. Oh, yep. Yep. All right, let me get one more. Yep. Ooh. All right, let's get back to class. Folk mark me absent. You play basketball too? That nice. That nice. That nice. All right. The Wi-Fi better not be trash. The Wi-Fi better not be trash. I ain't gonna lie. Dang, I can't. Hold on, can I eat it? I'm gonna ask him, can I eat in here? He better not, bro. He better not say no. He better not say no. I'm gonna throw this at. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna hit him dead and then throw him like, what? Damn, boy. That shit immaculate. All right, hold on. Oh, yeah. We finna bust this bit down. Finna bust. I hope don't nobody sit there and ask for a tender, bro. This ain't no share it all, bro. It's just me. Hold on, did I lock my car door? Let me see. Oh shit. Let me see if I lock my car door right quick. All right, we good. You know, I ain't trying to have nobody steal my whip. This ain't no share it all, man. It's 2:55.
Follow them. If there's one thing that students do that costs them points needlessly is they either kind of scan over it, or they don't read it at all, or they just kind of look at the art example at the end and figure, okay, I can do that, and they just do that. But what they don't understand is there's some very specific instructions here, number one. Number two, when I grade your assignment, I'm looking at this assignment sheet. So you may not have carefully looked at it when you were creating the assignment, but I'm carefully looking at it when I'm grading it. So that's why you want to make sure you look at it. Some people print it out and kind of have it to the side as they're doing their work and using it as a checklist to make sure they get all the elements in there, do everything they're supposed to do. But first thing you got to do is read all the PowerPoints, watch all the videos associated with this module, and we kind of, showed you a little bit of that. One of the four, then there's a part of the Creative Impulse PowerPoint that discusses the 4 different sources of inspiration, and you want to choose one to help you with this assignment. Okay, now. So in this Creative Impulse PowerPoint, Creative Impulse is right there. It says that there are 4 different places where you can find inspiration. Okay? Nature, that means outside, trees, plants, clouds, anything that's happening, man, that's not man-made, outside. There's culture, meaning that, say you're a West Indian, Jamaican, you're from Barbados, and this is part of a culture that it could be part of your culture, maybe somebody else's culture. Okay, that's fine. your observation of history. Okay, I'm inspired by Nat Turner and the slave revolts of the 1830s. Okay, that could be an inspiration for an art piece. Or observation of yourself, more accurately put, observation of history. Okay? I pretend like I'm not seeing and smelling delicious fried chicken in here. From Popeyes? Popeyes? But I understand we're here for a very long time. The only thing I ask is that just don't turn it into a freaking, what's that place down the street, the all you can eat. I don't know if you have them all. Don't turn it into a golden corral, okay? And clean up after yourself. You have a trash can here, but actually I prefer that you're gonna use your trash can and you're taking it outside. One thing that definitely makes every teacher blow their top is when the students eat and they drink and they just leave all their stuff around. Also be careful around the computers. Spills, that's main reason why they don't let you eat or drink in a lab, because people spill stuff on the computers and get all greasy and crumbs all over the place and stuff like that. So I'll just let you guys go with your children run with that. But these are the 4 areas that you should pull on for inspiration for your art assignment. And you need to state which one inspired you. Okay? I am inspired by childhood memories. I'll put yourself in parentheses as a source of my inspiration for this artwork. Okay? Very important. I explicitly state where my inspiration is, where it came from, because it's asking you select one of the 4 areas of inspiration discussed in the Creative Impulse PowerPoint under the section on observation. You need to state it so I know that you know that what the source of your inspiration is. Now I'm going to check. I'm going to choose one of the art styles. All right. That goes back to that Creative Impulse PowerPoint. By the way, don't do what I'm doing, which is just kind of going through and picking and choosing from slides. Read all the slides. Okay, we'll review some of this too. But because I've been doing this for a number of years now, I kind of know what's in there, and I want to kind of jump to exactly where my point is. Say for example, in the end of the slideshow, and I showed this to you guys earlier, there are a list of art styles or art genre. We don't say genres with the S there. This is a French word, which basically means style. Genre is how we say that. And even if it has an S to it. And here are just some of them. These aren't all of them, of course. These are just some of them. And what happens is that in this PowerPoint, it steps through all of the listed art genre, and it tells you a little bit about the history and also how each genre uses the principles and elements of design in a way that you can tell, hey, I'm looking at Art Nouveau as opposed to Art Deco. Art Nouveau, you can say, for example, as far as colors, it uses pastels. That means lighter colors, not a dark green, but a dark green with some white added so it's a little light. Not a dark royal blue or navy blue, but a light blue with some white added to give me a tint. And these colors, it's not just green and blue, they use other colors as well. But the one thing that all the colors have in common is that they're all colors that you see in nature. Art Nouveau seeks to emulate nature, all right? How does Art Nouveau work with lines? Art Nouveau has sinuous, that means curvy lines. Those straight vertical lines or straight horizontal lines or straight diagonal lines. They're nice, organic, curvy lines, okay? Notice that I'm using vocabulary words like organic, right? And the opposite of organic would be geometric. That would be like a straight line or perfect square. That would be geometric. When you fill in those blanks in the P&E chart, I always tell people, your go-to should always be those vocabulary words I have associated with that particular principle or element of design. So for example, if I'm describing how line is used in this storefront, lines can be vertical, horizontal, diagonal, they can be geometric, they can be organic, okay? So, another word for curvy. So you would use those words to describe how line, the element of line is being used in this storefront. And you'll find that in every style, they have consistent ways in which they use, consistent methods in which they use the different principles and elements of design over and over and over and over again, right? Biggie Smalls, you guys have probably heard a whole lot of his songs, right? But isn't his style pretty much the same from song to song? You'll never listen to a Biggie Smalls song and say, oh, that's Biggie. That doesn't sound like Biggie, that sounded more like Snoop. You'll never make that mistake, right? Because of the fact that even though every song is different, every song is unique, it has variety, still, there's something that unifies all of them. It's how he uses the principles and elements of design as is related to hip hop in a consistent way. That means he's using the lines, we'll say, are always curvy or always organic. And his colors are always tints or always pastels. Okay? So that's how you establish a style. And that's the kind of way you want, that's the way you want to talk in those principles and elements of design blanks. But for this assignment, you have to choose. You need to choose a style, okay? I think on this one, you can choose any one you want, but in the future, they're gonna ask you to stick to a specific style. In order to stick to that style, you have to understand it, right? I can't ask you to rap like Kendrick Lamar and you have no understanding of his style, right? Whether his lyrics are staccato or whether they're a little bit more free-form and flowing. You know, if you don't understand that, it's impossible for you to replicate his style, right? So it's the same thing with this. When you're asked to replicate a style or do your artwork in a particular style, you need to go and study that style first. Okay, read the history, read the theory, how they use the principles and elements of design, and then apply it to your art. Yes, sir?
So it's okay if you just like have to figure out how the style works and like how it does, and that's how we focus on it.
Well, you wanna focus on how the style uses the principles and elements of design. Like, for example, how does the Art Nouveau style, I said here, how does it use line? Nice, curvy, organic line. How does it use color? Nice pastels. How does it use shapes? Okay, organic shapes as opposed to geometric shapes. Even though technically a perfect circle is an organic shape, you won't see a whole lot of those. Normally you'll see like more of an egg shape. Okay? So understanding a style is really about stepping through that chart, the principles and elements of design chart, and say, well, how does it use line? How does it use shape? How does it use color? You know, once you get it down, now I can use line, shape, and color like they do, but apply it to my idea, my artwork that I'm creating from scratch. Does that make sense? All right. So say I were to choose one that a lot of people like, a lot of young folks like, is pop art. A lot of people like this, okay? And there is a certain way that it uses the principles and elements of design where when it's used like this consistently, you say, hey, I can identify that. That's pop art, okay? Sometimes the artwork also deals with certain subject matter. It's not just how to use the principles and elements of design. It's also what it's talking about. For example, pop art often uses pictures or often creates pictures of people who are big in consumer culture or popular culture, like this person. Who's this person? Marilyn Monroe, right? Okay. Sometimes it won't be a recognizable like celebrity. Sometimes it will be, it'll look like, pop art will look like,
It looks like someone that's somebody else, but popular, I guess.
like these are all examples, right? Where
Is it like a comic?
yeah, it looks like a style of a comics largely in the golden age of comic books, right? We have heavy stroke lines, right? And we have like a half point or we have see the newsprint? Yeah. That's how you use the principle of what, or its element of what. If I were to talk about these dots here, what section would I put that in?
Point.
Point. Very good. Is the point of, would I say the point of this is to show a lady crying?
No.
That's, okay, good. So I always gotta go back to that. I always gotta go back to that. All right, so these are some examples of pop art. Usually it's gauche or garish art, bright colors, primary colors. When I say primary colors, largely red, green, blue, yellow, sometimes orange. But you know, there's not a lot of gradation. When I say gradation, that means that to go from okay, there's not a lot of this going on. Where I go from a dark blue and I have a gradient, as they call it, into a lighter cyan or another kind of blue. You don't have a lot of that going on in pop art, right? In pop art, notice that the shading here, yeah, the shading is, you know, one tint of, magenta. Bang! I have light magenta and dark magenta gradually fading one into the other. Like a block, like almost like if this was like a painting on the ground, I have a stencil and just pour a bucket of paint there. And all the paint is the same darkness. It's not, I don't have differences in tone, so I'm dissolving or grading, it's not a gradient, right? The whole gradient thing is more of a realistic treatment of light in regards to tone. That is not what is going on in pop art. A lot of times you have unrealistic colors used for things. Like, for example, nobody's face is probably that magenta. I've never seen a person with that color face. But even as a shadow tone, okay? Garish means kind of tacky or over the top or cartoonish. And you see that a lot in pop art. So you may say, hey, with this triumph assignment, I want my source of inspiration to be my history or my past, myself, this is yourself, a memory, a childhood memory that I have, and I'm going to use the pop art style. But I need to study the slides on pop art. I need to study some pop art to know, okay, how am I going to use color, shape, line, point, and all the different principles and elements of design. So somebody looking at it will immediately be able to tell, bam, that's pop art. Okay? Let's see if I can find a pop art football player. Okay, so this is actually a pretty good one here. Notice they use some soccer players, they say football, but we all know there's only one real football, and that's the one where you can use your hands, right?
Facts.
That usually angers my international students who come from places other than the United States. Because, you know, what we call soccer, they call that football everywhere else pretty much on the planet. I'm a
Class is fired up. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. He just talk a lot. And Mira, don't try to do that, man. I'm learning and I'm eating food. Don't do that. Now I just gotta go wash my hands. I got grease on my hands. But the food was amazing, man. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I ain't gonna lie to you. 10 out of 10. Maybe when you come back, Mary, you can just make me some food. That'd be top. That'd be top tier. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cause I don't be having nobody to cook for me. I be having to cook for myself, man. Whole time I don't even cook. I be what did you learn while munching? Now he trying to test me. First off, he was talking about pop art and basically how the face was like, had like a lot of points. Instead of circles, we call it points. And then he was talking about how the tears are not points. He was talking about how the tears are not points because they're irregular shape. And then he also said the lines of the hair. Gosh. He also said the lines of the hair are known as lines and principal elements. Come on now. Then he was talking about how the primary colors are red, green, blue, yellow, and sometimes orange. Come on now. What are points associated with? What you mean? What they associated with? They're dots. Basically what we gotta do is we gotta describe the type of points that we use it in our principal and elements art. So basically if we making a what's something I could think of? Just like he was saying with the football. If we making a pop art of football, we gotta have a point in there, which is you can use it as the points on the football. Like if he holding the football like this, make those like dots and just that's considered a point, or the shoulder pads or the jersey, stuff like that. And then the number on the jersey, you can make that lines, then add color to it. So you want a cookie, Sweetness? Man, you already know the type of cookie I want. Let me get back to this class. Learn some more stuff in my brain, in my noggin. Oh yeah. Should I end the live stream here or keep live streaming? Keep live streaming the whole class. Bro, I'm not finna end the live stream right here. That's dead, man. So yeah, it's a lot that go into this class that I just gotta, My first thing was I didn't know too much about Intro to Digital Media when I first started. I want to hear him after class and after. Okay, so y'all want me to vibe out after class? Well, that's more reasonable because shit, I'm going home after class. I'm going home after class. That's it.
Okay. Anytime you get it. There we go. So what I can do is now, before I start to work on my artwork, I can fill out these blanks for my principles and elements of design. So for example, I'm planning out what I'm going to do. I can say, I use points. I use multicolor points of various sizes in the negative space. Negative space, I'll introduce you to that term early. That's another word for background. Don't say background, say negative space. Positive space is the subject of the drawing. So if I have a football player on a background, the background is the negative space and the football player is the what? Positive space. Very good. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing this for point. Okay. The negative space. And why am I using points of various sizes of negative space? To emphasize childlike wonder. Let's see. Please. Okay, how about I say various sizes that look like stars? Childlike wonder.
Multicolor points of
Or
various
being
sizes that look like
a
stars.
little league football player.
The natives-
I know that may not make a whole lot of sense, but I'm making this up as I go along. You get the idea. I have a reason. I tell you exactly what I did, and I tell you why I did it. I use multicolored points at various sizes that look like stars in the sky, in the negative space, to emphasize the childlike wonder of being a football player, right? And I can do things like, you know, I'll drop a link to how to use Excel, just like the one we have for PowerPoint. Yes.
You could just hit rap text and it'll show the whole
Yeah.
sentence.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. There. Bang. Right there. Thank you.
No
So
problem.
you saw that, guys? When I typed this out, it was long. But the gentleman just pointed out if I hit wrap text and go down to wrap text, it'll put all of my text down there. Okay? So I would go through and I'd fill out all this stuff before I create the artwork, and I'm going to go ahead and save it. Okay. Chart. Assignment 1. Now, you have a couple of choices as far as how you want to handle this. All right? Now, you can see I have my P&E chart right here hanging out on my desktop as a separate document. Right? You can either upload that separate P&E chart to Blackboard in a separate Dropbox that you'll see on Blackboard, or you can incorporate that Excel spreadsheet into your P&E chart. I'm going to recommend that you at least try to incorporate that spreadsheet into your P&E chart, because later on down the road, you're not going to have a choice. They're going to make you do that, where I can't upload that spreadsheet in a separate Dropbox, separate from my PowerPoint for the artwork. So there are a couple things you can do to integrate your P&E chart with your PowerPoint. And I'm going from like a P&E chart that's on my desktop to to a PowerPoint presentation that's online in essence. So we're gonna see what I can do, see if I can drag and drop this. I'm gonna drag it from my desktop and just drop it right there. This is unsupported format, okay? It won't take a Excel spreadsheet, but it will take a JPEG or probably a PDF as well. But I'm gonna use a JPEG to make it nice and easy, okay? So I'm going to go back to my, spreadsheet. I'm going to file, and the shooter isn't hanging out these days. Save as, let's see if this will work. Format, this should work. Well, let me do a PDF, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a JPEG. It won't let me do a JPEG on this one. So I'm going to try some other than file, save as. Maybe file, export, maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking it's, I'm gonna go to help. Let's go to help. And let's type in JPEG. JPEG, maybe hopefully this version will allow me to create a JPEG. It might not. All right. This version may not allow me to create a JPEG out of this. So something else I can do. How about I save it as, there are a couple of things I can do actually. I'm going to save it as a PDF. I think that I can drag and drop from the desktop. I can drag and drop a PDF from the desktop to a, nope, won't let me do it. So I can't do a PDF either. All right, let's see. What can I do? Okay, here's another option. Something else you can do. So I can't do a PDF, I can't do a JPEG. Using these particular versions of, this particular version of Excel spreadsheet, I think there are other versions that you can. But I could also take a screen capture. Watch this. This is how you do it on a Mac. You do it differently on a PC. I think you just hit the print screen button on a PC, right, to do a screen capture.
That would use a snipping tool.
Or the snipping tool. So I'm going to do a Shift-Command-3, and it took a picture that it dropped as a screenshot right here. Okay? So now this should work. I can grab this screenshot and drag it right in, bang, like that. You see, I have all this extra stuff around it. What's up with that? Well, what I can do is I can crop that out, right? I can double-click on the image, and I get these black lines and corners. Those are my cropping edges. I can drag the black lines and corners down so I only see the portion of the spreadsheet that I want to see. Of course, I'm assuming you fill out the entire spreadsheet before you do this. And after I do that, I can just click away on something that's other than the document itself, bang, like that. There it is. If I click on it one more time, I get these 8 little bubbles. Grab one of the ones on the corner and drag out. And it'll blow it up. Okay. I was kind of fast, kind of clicked on this edge, but you get the idea. So worst comes to worst, you can get an Excel spreadsheet into a PowerPoint like that. Just take a screen capture, drag and drop that screen capture into a PowerPoint, and just crop the size and edges, anything you don't want in there. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it, this is actually the way I prefer, this is a little cleaner, is in PowerPoint, I'm going to insert a table. And this table would have what? Actually, I found that if I do principal elements on one slide and then principles on another, that gives me enough room. So I'm going to make a 2x7 table by clicking on table up here in the insert section of PowerPoint. It'll tell you, it'll review all of this when you are, if you look at the video that I give you. And I'll say element, okay? That's the category for element, so I'm going to say point, line, shape. I know value is in there, or tone is in there, but it's not in that order, so I wanna go in the order that they listed as. Form, shape, form, space, value, color. Form, space, value, color. All right? So I told you this wasn't a spelling class, right? All right, so this is for the elements of design. And then of course, I have all 7 of them there, and I would describe how I use point. Now in this case, I can cheat because I can go over here and I can copy and paste. I can copy and paste this. I can copy this, select it all, and go edit, copy, and then go here and go edit, paste, bang. I can do that, right? So, like I said, hopefully I can get all 7 on here. If it's kind of thick, like I can't get all 7 of these on here, then maybe I can go in here and kind of use smaller words, or I can make the font smaller by selecting it all and then choosing a smaller font. You know, something like that. Something like that. All right, but you can experiment with that to try to get as much on one slide as possible. So I would do that for the principle, for the elements, and then for the principles. I'm going to paste that, and then instead of element, let's call this principles, and then instead of line, we're going to do balance, contrast, emphasis, movement.
I'm gonna just go get a snack, okay?
Okay, all right, man. You don't have to announce it to me every time. So go ahead, handle your business. Yeah. Balance, contrast, emphasis, movement. Guess what I'm gonna do for you all? I'm
What's
gonna
up?
send this PowerPoint as like a template to you.
That's
Okay?
it, bad.
So you don't have to worry about, setting up your P&E charts, stuff like that, trying to figure that out. You don't have to go into Word, Excel, or rather Microsoft Excel at all.
I'm out of school in like 30 minutes.
How many slides in the PowerPoint?
Say what now?
How many slides in the PowerPoint?
Okay, I'm gonna show you some examples, but it depends on the artwork, because one thing I do like to see is one slide that presents the entire, presents the entire artwork, and then in the slides where you're talking about like a specific element, like how you, like in the slides of the PowerPoint, you can talk about, hey, I want to talk about how I use lines, the specific way I use lines in this artwork in more detail than you can do in your P&E chart. You can put a zoomed in portion of your artwork that has just the part of the artwork you're talking about on its own slide. And then on that slide, talk about how you work with lines. I'm gonna see if I can find an example here.
So like each slide, you want to talk about each one?
You don't have to, but I'm gonna give you some examples. Okay, here's some good student work examples. Okay, look at this one. All right, so this is a student. You can see this one has a total of like 20 slides in it. All right, this is I think probably an assignment you didn't get to. You can see this person just drew. This is their artwork, right? Okay, and so actually this is assignment 1, now that the module 2 assignment. This is not think about it, but they had a different. There was a triumph for them. It was a different word, right? So You know, for this assignment, they decided to draw the inside of a student's mind who is trying to figure out what they should do when they don't have enough aid to afford to attend college. All right. So he shows us the whole, well, not all of it, but a good portion of the artwork again, and he talks about how the piece displays symmetrical balance. That's kind of one kind of balance, with both sides containing around the same number of elements, visual elements on it. So he's not going to necessarily talk about every single, I think you might hear, every single principle or element in these slides. Maybe he just wants to talk about ones that are important to him. Okay, but I think in this case, I think he may have broken it down and talked about all of them. So look at this one. This is a zoomed in portion of this. He just zoomed in. You see that? And because he's talking about this as far as color contrast, he zoomed in on that and said contrast can be displayed by the tiles on the roof displaying light green versus dark green. Okay? And then next one, he just shows the clock tower. Okay? And he talks about the element or the principle of emphasis. And he talks about how it relates to the big clock here. Right? And then he goes to the whole thing, you know, shows the whole thing again and talks about movement. So yeah, I think he steps through his entire, all the principles and elements of design and shows you the different parts of the picture in zoomed in fashion, which parts exemplify the principal element he's talking about. So we go back to this one again and he says, well, okay, this also reflects pattern. It shows me about how I work with patterns. Basically looking at the light green and the dark green tiles, okay? And then rhythm, okay? The numbers on the clock show repetition of numbers in a world creating a winding effect. Not exactly I don't get the impression, this is super early on, so he didn't really nail the definition of what rhythm is, visual rhythm is, you know, but I at least appreciated the fact that they showed me a close-up of the clock and he's trying to wrestle with the definition of what rhythm is. And I remember for this particular student, I went back and, you know, just did some correction on exactly what is visual rhythm, okay? He was in the right ballpark, but not quite there, okay? And then he talks about unity, and he shows me another zoom in portion. But you see how he's able to zoom in like that through the artwork? If you're curious as to how to do that, really, all that is one easy way to do that is to do just like I did with the screen capture, but with your artwork. And actually, let me see. I think I'm gonna demonstrate that. Okay, this guy here. Let's bring this guy in. Let's say that's some artwork that you created. I want to make this as seamless as possible. I'm going to delete this section over here so I have a little more room to deal with. All right. I'm just going to move around some stuff here. So I'm going to put my text in there eventually. So let's bring in my football player guy. See if we can bring in a web, okay, it's not going to read that. Okay, so say I want to zoom in on this. Okay, there are a couple things I can do. All right, I can first start by cropping the part I want to zoom in. See, I want to talk about the football in the hand that's holding the football. I'm going to double click on the picture to give me the brackets so I can crop. And then I'm going to drag my lines around just the football and then click off that, and then now, then I'm just gonna make it bigger, bang, like that. So now I can use a text box by going to the insert section and click text box and drag that there. And now I can talk about the football is a collection of small points. Okay? You can say something, you know, about how it emphasizes the element of point, right? Maybe I put up at the top, I put something just so it's attractive, but also clear what I'm talking about. Point. All right, bang. And let's go to home and make it like that. See that? Is because football is not a single player sport. It combines the efforts of many people for a single goal. Bang. Got it. All right? So, that's kind of like how they did that. All right? So, you can just keep doing it as just keep dragging the picture in and cropping around what you want and then zooming up. All right? That's one. Everybody get that? So that's how this student was able to do such an excellent job of zooming in on his or her artwork and being able to discuss each one of the principles and elements of design. And what's cool about that is, guess what? When he or she has to fill out his P&E chart, guess what all they have to do is? Just copy and paste. Copy and paste this section right here. You got to paste it right in there. Okay? And this is the P&E chart that they did. Instead of using the Excel spreadsheet, they kind of did what I did. They made it a little bit bigger so they can fit the principles and elements all on the same page. Just like that.
For the PowerPoint, I'm not saying you gotta use all like the
Principles and elements.
yeah, principal and elements. So just use one that you think that matters more to the picture.
Well, as far as like in these slides here, you know, this person did all of it. But if you didn't want to do all of them, but you did a few of them that are very important, that's fine. But definitely in your chart, you have to talk about all of them. Yeah. Okay, does that make sense?
Facts.
Any questions on any of that? All right, it is simple. What I'm going to do is, for this one, I'll send this one out, because this is actually the same assignment that you're about to do, but they had a different theme word. I'll send this out to you, so you can use this as an example, all right? Not only the kind of art you can use, all they did is they just drew and colored in their little art pad, took a picture of it with their phone, emailed it to themselves, downloaded the email, the picture on their computer, and just drag and drop that picture into a PowerPoint presentation. That's all they did. All right? Super easy peasy. Any questions on any of that?
Nah.
Outstanding. All right, let's take another break, y'all. It's 3:41. Let's come back at 4. We're in the 4.
Yeah, we're
in the 4. Okay, good. We're in the 4. We're in the 4. Let's do our last 20 minutes. Be gone, y'all. Let's go through. I'm going to start talking about a little bit about some of these PowerPoints that you're supposed to study. We want to get through a little more of the PowerPoints than I did last time. In this particular one, yes, you can use any style, but it has to be one of the styles in the Creative Impulse PowerPoint.
So like
Pop art, abstract, abstract expressionism, Dadaism, and there are a whole lot of them. Yes, pop art and Rococo.
What is that?
Sci-fi assembly art style. Surrealism, okay? So you can choose any one of these styles. In Cubism, that's popular on Picasso, Cubism. You can choose any of these styles to do the assignment, but you must state which one you're going to choose.
in the PowerPoint, like that.
Then the PowerPoint you at the top, you saw I stated my inspiration, which was myself, my history, state that, and state your style. Okay, I'm gonna do it in the style of Dadaism. Now don't just throw the word at me. Make sure you go back and you study how Dadaism uses shapes and colors and tones and stuff like that, and replicate that or imitate that in your work. But you gotta study it before you imitate it, right?
Right.
All right, they're all right here. But don't just say, I'm gonna do, what's your name? I'm gonna do it James style. No, you can't do that. It has to be one of the registered styles in the creative impulse slide, unless you're doing James Brown style. That's always cool, right? Godfather of soul. All right. All right. So I guess we'll go ahead and do a little bit of creative impulse. All right. Why do we do all of this, y'all? We ain't got a choice as humans. It's primal. Primal is something like food, water, shelter, clothes, protection, something you need to survive. Those are your primal needs. And the creation of art, in a lot of people's view, is primal. In order to live, and definitely live meaningful lives, we must create art, right? Okay. Like we said, where does inspiration for your work come from? It comes from any place. From nature, your observation of nature, your observation of culture, yours or somebody else's, your observation of history, yours or somebody else's, your observation of yourself, like your past, your background, your upbringing, or who you are today. All of those are great sources of inspiration. Notice that observation is in front of all those words. That means you must be aware how to observe something, how to pick out details, how to say what makes the way he talks different from the way he talks, and the words they use, maybe the accent that they use, whatever. Also, don't forget in your PowerPoint, you're supposed to tell us where you get your inspiration from for this assignment, which one of those 4 you chose. This is observation 100%. So this is just basically going to step you through those 4 sources and talk about them. Humans have always been inspired by the beauty of nature. This is Impressionism. Impressionism. When I step through this stuff, I'll try to talk about the type of art and in certain cases the artist and why we call this Impressionism. Number one thing about Impressionism is it's almost always landscapes and it's always exteriors. Okay? The focus is not so much the human form for Impressionism. French Impressionism, not so much. One of the big things that Impressionists like to do, like I say, is they like to paint landscapes, but also it's really about how light interacts with nature. Like a large portion of what we're looking at is the sun reflecting off of the water. You can see it's not just this orange streak in the water, but it's all the green and the blue, all that kind of stuff. That's basically like ambient reflection of the sun bouncing off of everything else in the environment and then reflecting in the water. So French Impressionism is all about replicating, or sometimes making up, how light interacts with nature. Even our people here, they're silhouetted. That means that they're all black. That means that that's a shadow. The reason why that's a shadow is because the light source is on the far side of them, behind them. We're on the other side of them. And you know, just like in the Jerry Springer show, when you want to have like a mystery guest, you have the person standing in front of the curtain, and then you have the light behind them, and then on the curtain, all you see is their shadow. Okay? That's what we have going on here. You guys remember no, you don't remember the Jerry Springer show, do you? You remember the Jerry Springer show? The late 90s, it was a big thing. Jerry Springer, Markovich.
Of.
Of course, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so nature, using nature as your source of inspiration goes way back to our earliest ancestors, okay? These are Paleolithic cave drawings, okay? And these represent animals and human figures and other aspects of nature that's important to them. They just went out on a hunt, you know, and these are the different animals that they saw, right? And to know that some of these can be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years old, how you can look at this and you know exactly what they're talking about. To me, that's amazing, because that means, to me, we don't think very much differently than they did, okay? Which is, you know, it's almost like a person from 150,000 years ago was communicating with you and showing you what they saw when they went out on the hunt. All right? All right? So there was a phase or a stage, or you could say a movement in the Western world called Enlightenment, the Enlightenment phase, Enlightenment era, okay, in Western society. And basically that's when we weren't living so much on farms anymore. We started living in cities, and not everybody was a farmer, right? And every time you have a movement like that happen, we're moving away from what's natural in the farms, right? You'll have a backlash, just like we have in society now. Hey man, you know, we've forgotten all about, you know, we got this new hip hop. We've forgotten about old school hip hop. We're gonna make it cool to break dance like at the Olympics, although they did a terrible job, and pop and lock and listen to old school hip hop. You'll always have a reaction to any new thing that happens. So before the Enlightenment, you had people who were pretty much living on farms to a large part, and all the art reflected things in nature. When they moved to the cities, art reflected more things that were more human-made, maybe machines or things that are not natural, but there was a reaction to that. There's a backlash. Hey man, you're forgetting all about nature here. We've got to get back to nature, and we're going to we want to show pictures of humans in their natural environment, in forests and woods with flowers. Many times the subjects were women, okay? And so that movement where people started moving into cities, but artists say, hey, don't forget about, hey, our natural element is out in the forest with leaves and roses and whatnot. That's called the romantic movement. Romantic movement, right? Actually, the first time we experienced this backlash, it was the romantic movement. And then later on, we got even more into the cities, more into the factories, the big smokestacks, like in the late 19th century, in the 1800s, right? The industrial revolution took place in the 19th century. But you know, we had to, once again, we get a backlash to that, and we had another phase of romanticism called neo-romanticism. Neo meaning new romanticism. Okay, so you're going to see a lot of, you're going to hear a lot of history as far as what was going on in the world with these different artistic movements taking place. It's very important that you know this kind of stuff. For one, because it's much easier for you to remember the different artistic movements and why they happened if you understand what was going on in society at that particular point in time. And there's never a situation where society doesn't impact art and art doesn't impact society, okay? Lots of movements like futurism, okay? Dadaism, constructivism. It comes out of where humanity is in that particular era. Like, for example, in World War I, okay? That was when you had some of the more abstract movements like Dadaism and constructivism coming out of war, because people had witnessed the horrors, disorganization, and chaos of war, and that shaped how they looked at and created art. Yes?
So, keeping it in that time frame, what would be like what would you consider the main art when it comes to the Harlem Renaissance?
The art of what now?
What would be the main art form when it comes to the Harlem Renaissance?
Harlem Renaissance. Anybody know what years the Harlem Renaissance took place in, roughly? What time period? Very good, 1920s. Okay? So one thing that was going on in the 1920s, really it started as early as the 1870s, but it was really in full swing around 1900, was the Great Migration. Maybe some of your family members were involved, some of your ancestors, great-grandparents were involved. Do you mind know what the Great Migration was? What was the Great Migration?
So basically, people moving from different areas of the country to, other sections.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Going from the north to the south or vice versa. Or
Yeah. Yeah. In this case, specifically, it was black people who went out of the South in the 1890s, 1900s, 1920s. Some people say as late as the 1940s, from an agrarian or rural lifestyle that didn't have a whole lot of opportunity because of things like Jim Crow laws, racism, it's the same thing, stuff like that. So they would move to Chicago or to New York or to Detroit looking for better opportunities and a better way of life. That's what the Great Migration was. And so because of the Great Migration, you saw a huge number of black artists moving towards, at first, Chicago, which is really the birthplace of the Harlem Renaissance, right? But then later on, it kind of drifted a bit more to the east to Harlem. But yeah, Harlem Renaissance, I don't want to say it's a misnomer, meaning it's incorrectly labeled, but it wasn't like everybody converged on Harlem and that's where it stayed. It really kind of was, we had a lot going on in Detroit, we had a lot going on in Chicago, but eventually it coalesced by the 1920s in Harlem. You had a lot of stuff going on. It was also called the Jazz Age, because jazz, which was the great-great-grandfather of hip-hop, was starting to coalesce in the South, and people would move from the South to the North, and guess what they would bring with them? Their music. You know what I mean? So you would see Chicago and New York and Detroit once again, and lots of other cities in the Midwest and the North. They developed like really big jazz traditions, in those cities because of the fact that these people were migrating, the Great Migration up to the North. And so a lot of people, like Romare Bearden, who was a collage artist whose family was from, I would say, South Carolina, South Carolina, and moved up to Harlem during the Harlem Renaissance. He, in his work, it expresses a lot of the rural life that he lived in the South. His family lived in the South, but it also expresses the new experiences that he had a big hand in that was taking place in the North, and a lot of times feeling kind of torn in that he was kind of like a transplant from the South to the North. Things down South were really rough, but still, that's where all his folk were from. So as bad as things were, he still kind of felt a bond with it, but up here in New York, you had more freedom. You were able to do a lot more things, a lot more freedoms in New York than you had in South Carolina. So that's what a lot of his work was about. Okay? So that's how a lot of times historical periods of time, historical movements can impact art. Right? All right. So we're almost done. So, we're going to continue to talk about artists being fascinated by nature as a subject, as inspiration, as a medium. When you say nature can be media, that means we can actually use twigs and leaves and things like that in your artwork. That's what we talk about media. It's like, what are the physical implements, utensils that I'm using in my artwork? That's what media is / art, because media is plural and singular. Here are some artists and designers' responses to nature, and these are some just examples of how nature can influence art. Right here, sculpture, architectural design, environmental art, photography. certain types of photography, okay? You have some, speaking of art, nature, you have something called land art, right? Ecological art. You ever heard of crop circles? If you heard of crop circles, right? If you dismiss the whole aliens made them thing, that can kind of be thought of as a certain kind of land art while actually shaping, terraforming in a way, land to create artwork. This is another way where nature can be a medium. All right? So, I remember when these kind of became popular in the 70s and the early 80s, nobody would admit to actually doing them. And ooh, aliens came down and did these. And then they found, people who were actually going out to cornfields and whatnot and doing this kind of stuff eventually. But this is nature as a medium and also as inspiration. Okay, because it's a medium because we're actually making the art with grass. Those are utensils that I'm using, the material, grass and twigs and trees and stuff like that. A maze. Have you seen a maze? I don't know if this is a maze, but you ever seen like a labyrinth or a maze? People will have rich people in their backyard, like at the end of Shining. Yeah. To walk around in a maze. That's another example of nature as a medium. All right. Any questions on anything? I'll say we'll pick it up from here next time, but go ahead and get started with your reading those PowerPoints and watching that video. And I will see you all on Wednesday at 1 p.m.
All right, y'all. So, as y'all can see, I just finished my class. Now, what I'm finna do is go home, man. I'm finna go to the crib. My shoe came outside. Fuck it. But yeah, I just finished my one class for the day.
Oh shit! Thank you, baby. I appreciate it.
Come on, I'm waiting for you. That sound amazing. Ain't gonna lie to you. But I'm finna go to the crib. I am tired, and I done had me. Y'all missed the mukbang, man. Some of y'all done missed it. I was in class smashing down. Ain't gonna lie to you. I had some fish, some fries. I had some fried fish, I had some fries. I had some chicken tenders from Popeyes. And I had some more fries and a biscuit. You missed it, you're gonna have to rewatch it. Now I'm finna go home, do some work, go to sleep. Ain't twin pulling up on me like that. Walking fast. Stop by your crib and go to sleep crazy. I just wanna go home to my bed, lay in my bed. Oh, appreciate it. And I'm just finna, actually what I'm finna do is, I like live action. So, you should have been there. No cap. I had to hold 2 plates. All right. I want to thank y'all for 7.2K. And, we going to be live streaming again sometime later on tonight. Peace out, y'all. Much love.